There's a very beautiful and very significant indication from J. Krishnamurti, which is very valuable for all seekers who want to understand life, who want to go deep, which is very supportive, very significant. And that is his indication: choiceless awareness. Sometimes he also used another expression similar to it called passive awareness. But choiceless awareness is more sharply clear, more easy to understand and bring into practice. In fact, in all the deeper teachings you can see indications like this, which are orienting towards a way of connecting to the reality without getting trapped in the conditioning, in the knowledge, in the automatic processes which are working in us. But one thing you can see when you observe carefully is that behind it there is one factor, that is the process of judgment. It is based on the knowledge which we have and the standards and values which we have accumulated. And the judgments are going on automatically. And you will be surprised when you start looking what judgments are going on in me when I am encountering someone and I am with a situation where something is getting touched. And often we are not aware that these judgments are going on. That is why it becomes very valuable. And what I am reminding is, just look at these judgments which are going on. Don't try to call it good or bad. And you are not trying to make a knowledge out of it. You are not trying to put yourself in a category and say, I am like this or I am like that. You are just looking. You allow it to become conscious to you. What kind of things are going on? What is the judgments which are working in you? Of course, when you are looking at these judgments, you will also see more. You will also see behind the judgments there is some expectations, some fears, some calculations, some different concepts. So, when you are bringing the attention, it is a deepening of the awareness what is taking place. So this will be a help when you are at first looking what way the judgment is going on automatically and unconsciously in many situations in you. You may be surprised, you may not be able to believe that there is so much going on, because normally we are so much outward oriented and focused on that what is outside us. But to look at this, to look at that what is going on, enables you to see that, oh, there's so much unconscious factors in my way of going about life. Of course, what I am saying may not be so easy for people who are newly coming in touch with these orientations, because since we are used to so much an outward oriented way of going, to begin to turn the attention and also look at these things without identifying with them looks almost like very difficult. So if you are not getting disappointed because it's not working the way you want it and can continue, then you can see, you can also go deeper. But for all those who are working on themselves, who have been in different ways with the inner inquiry, you will be still amazed to see what way these judgments are going on, because behind the judgment is the knowledge, and behind this whole automatic process, we are unconsciously getting caught in an idea of a separate I, and that is persisting till we bring the attention to it. That is why looking at all these judgments without trying to change it in any way, without trying to hold to it, without trying to get rid of it, without calling it good or bad, and also without any effort to categorize yourself into any kind of box, and without identifying with any of that, notice that this is happening. These judgments are taking place. And the deeper you go with it, the more it will become transparent to you that when you are not trying to change yourself, when you are simply being with the moment, being with all this, your perception is starting to open up. Your understanding of the reality becomes deeper, because you are not trying to get limited by the projections through the mind. You are seeing this mental process, you are seeing this automatic reaction in you, and through that you are enabling a more conscious and open way of being with the moment, being with the reality. That is why it can be so valuable. And the longer you are experimenting with it, the more transparent it will become, that it is more than how it appears. So I would recommend to everybody, practice this at least 5 times a day. In fact, in all the situations where you are encountering someone, being in touch with some new situation, that is a possibility. But at least 5 times a day, deliberately take time to bring the attention to these factors which are undercurrently taking place in you. That will become a very supportive and deepening process in your inner inquiry. And the second reminder is in a way very much connected to this, and it is more or less the complementary factor to it. And that is to bring the attention in a similar way to the standards, to the values, to the attitude which you have, the beliefs which you carry about yourself, the image. So this is part of the attitude, this is part of what you call in German the Haltung. And you will be surprised when you bring the attention, you will be also noticing that, oh, what ideas you have, what expectation you have, what beliefs are there. And many of these beliefs are not what you have deliberately taken and started applying. Many of them are through the conditioning, through some of the experiences which we have made, positive or negative. And it is going on automatically and unconsciously in us. So bring the attention and see. Again, with the second one also, I remind at least on 5 occasions during the day, 5 connections. Sometimes it may be just meeting another person, sometimes it may be just reading something in the headline of a newspaper, or sometimes it is just seeing something in the social media or in the television. It can be just any little situation where you are touched, where you are questioned, where you are provoked. So, playfully but with the inner decisiveness, begin to look what happens when you work with it. And at least for next 7 weeks, take it to heart and work with it as intensely as you can without making it into a struggle. That will be very supportive, and you will be surprised what is going on, what is really taking place inside when you are not looking. And when you become aware of that, what is going on in you, which is otherwise unconsciously going on, you will see that you are getting more and more inwardly clear, inwardly free. That is why in the East there is a saying, you become a master of yourself. Otherwise we are a slave of our conditioning. Otherwise we are reacting on the basis of what is put in our automatic process. And we believe that this is what we project and judge and label. This is the reality, this is how it really is. Only through a careful and conscious consideration you start seeing that life is more, reality is much deeper, and what we are seeing is not how it really is. That what can be uncomfortable in the first look becomes a possibility to get clear and to be free, so that you can live a life which is more authentic, more connected to the reality, where your intelligence is able to come in and give you the guidance which is required to respond as well as you can to the given situation. So, as you work with it, you will find that the life is much more playful, much more rich. But we have a responsibility to see that and to get clear and free. That is why I would recommend everybody to take it to heart and work with it as intensely as you can for the next 7 weeks. Both these reminders at least 5 times each in practice, and make the best.